Welcome back to Real Madrid Reviews. Just finished watching Valencia versus Real Madrid, where we won the game 2-0. And it was more of the same from Real Madrid. Madrid found it quite challenging to actually break down Valencia, and nothing new here, finding it very hard to break down low blocks. So in this video, I'm going to give my take on how I found the match. And then maybe also later on in the week, me and Stefan will do like a live, just covering everything a little bit more in detail. But for now, I'll just give you my initial thoughts of what I thought of the match and the players and also the game in general. So for myself, I think, Madrid got the 3 points, which right now is the best thing we can do with this team. And we're 1 point behind Barcelona, which is crazy, with the performances we're kind of putting in and the way we're struggling to break down low blocks and just the lack of quality we're seeing from our team, right? So I think in the first half, it was a little bit tentative, lack of ideas. We struggled a little bit in the back line. Heusen making some mistakes like on the ball. Defensively was okay, but like just on the ball decisions, like making runs where he shouldn't be running, and then also also losing some balls, like and we also had Camavinga as well, also making similar mistakes in terms of like losing the ball. So it wasn't the most best game in the first half, and second half I think was probably quite similar as well. We did score our 2 goals in the second half. And we actually got quite lucky with Carreras' goal, to be honest, because when I saw that, I was like, okay, super nice for Carreras to score a second goal, 2 goals this season against Valencia. But it was one of those lucky goals. You know, if he had to do it again, he couldn't do it because of like the ricochets and bouncing off players and the ball just landing exactly where it needs to put the ball away. And then Valencia now after losing that goal, having to come out a little bit more, opening up the space. So I actually think as well this was actually nice in terms of Trent when he came on later, because he was actually putting some amazing balls over the top for Mbappe, for Brahim, and really spreading the play. So something we're actually really missing. Even though we have those players who can do those passes, Asensio and Valverde, but they're not doing them for that reason. So, I'll give you my take on, let's look at the formation actually, and then I'll give you my take on what I thought of the players and also what I thought about how we actually played overall in the game. So, it seems we had it was like a 4-3-2-1. It was quite interchanging up top with Mbappe, Gonzalo Garcia, and Goulet. And then, so in the first half, you had it where it was, we were so narrow. You had, Gonzalo Garcia and Mbappe operating centrally. And then you had Goulet a little bit on the right and also coming deep sometimes. And then the second half, it switched. They were switching a little bit more. So you had, let's say, Mbappe and Gonzalo Garcia up front, and then Goulet a little bit just behind. And he was finding those pockets and throwing those balls in for Mbappe. And then midfield, we had Tchouaméni, we had Camavinga, and we had Valverde. So this is a nice chance to see Valverde back in midfield, and Camavinga also in midfield as well. So when I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Let me see how these players can actually do in that midfield. I didn't like, obviously, seeing Goulet out on the right wing because for me, Goulet is just similar to Vini, and this is not necessarily like a knock on both of them. They can only play one position. Vini is left wing, and Goulet is a 10. He's an attacking midfielder, right? Not on the wing, not deep. And I wanted to see how this defense would do, how Valverde would do after a good performance against Rayo last week. He was the only one, really, or one of the only ones who put in a good performance. But I have to say, overall, I was quite disappointed with Valverde. I feel like sometimes Valverde is just watching the game. So defensively, I think overall, in like the middle block and the defensive block, we were quite were quite good. I mean, Valencia did have like 9 chances, but maybe two of them were threats. One guy hit the post, Beltran, I believe his name was. But overall, Courtois was not tested, right? So defensively, we were sound. There was a little bit of shakiness in the first half. Second half, it kind of faded away. But Valencia did have their chances. But I think overall, defensively, we were sound. Asensio was good. Carreras was good. Jimenez on the right, I quite liked him. The main thing I liked about him was his enthusiasm. So yeah, we had Carreras and Jimenez hugging the touchline, and they were giving us our width. The width that we normally get from Vinny, it wasn't there today. And Mbappe, well, it wasn't there. He wasn't staying on the left wing. And yeah, Gonzalo Garcia is not going to give us width on that left wing. So I actually would have liked a little bit more through balls to Carreras and Jimenez. I feel that wasn't used enough. But anyway, going a little bit on a tangent, but going back to the lineup. So we have the midfield, and then we have the back line, right? We went through it. Hausen, Asensio, centre backs, Jimenez on the right, and Carreras on the left. So Jimenez is the first time I've seen him. I think this is his first match for Real Madrid. Maybe it could be his second. But I like the kid. He was very proactive. He was positive. The first half, I believe there was maybe like 2 balls that went over the top of him. And it was finding it a little bit hard just to get into the game. But once he got into the game, I felt quite confident with him. He was going up against Dan Juma, and Dan Juma was a little bit trickery and quick. So I think he did a good job against him. And he was getting some cover from Valverde and Asensio and everything. So I thought he did a good job. And our defensive line, yeah, some people were saying it's a little bit shaky, but I think overall, 0 shots from Valencia on goal. So I think defensively wasn't really our main issue today. It was more, once again, creativity. I honestly wonder what our players, what our team do in the training ground. Because they can't put a passage of play together. I was watching Manchester United and Tottenham, and Man United, after getting a bounce from Michael Carrick coming in, they were playing some beautiful football, beautiful 1-2 touch and just quick passing. It's I don't know why we are making it so difficult, wanting to hold the ball on for so long. Tchouaméni, slow on the ball. Mbappe wanted to hold the ball. Mbappe was on the width sometimes, and he was losing the ball just so easily. So where is just that 1-2 passing? Why is it not there in this team, right? So it's really crazy how the basics of football, these players are not doing. Maybe they think they're too good for the basics, but clearly they are not. So that was our formation in the first half. In the second half was similar, but just a little bit of a change up front with that front three. So I think overall it was quite interesting in terms of now Bellingham is out, Vinny is out, Rodrigo is out, which I thought was a real shame because I would have loved to see him on the left wing. Mbappe on the right or vice versa, whatever, and then Gonzalo Garcia in the middle. But unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. So with this lineup, Alonso, Arbeloa chose, it was pretty much the lineup he could have chosen. Maybe if you put in Brahim for somebody to give us actually width, because when Brahim came on, he actually helped us open the game. Him and Trent, and then maybe Jimenez starting ahead of Carvajal and Trent was maybe a bit too. Was a surprise for a lot of people. But I think this is one thing I like about Arbeloa. He is introducing the kids, and this is something that I've always wanted Madrid to do more. And he's one of the first managers really going into it, right? So it's good to see this kid coming in and playing well. And then in terms of where to start, I'm going to start with the most pressing thing for me, and that is Gonzalo Garcia. Because I like this kid, but I think Arbeloa and also Gonzalo Garcia himself is forgetting that he's a striker. So I know we have Mbappe, and Mbappe doesn't want to defend. Okay, it is what it is. He doesn't want to defend. Okay, fine. How can we compensate that the lack of defending from Mbappe? Because everybody else in that team can help out, right? The slack from can cover the slack for Mbappe. it felt for me like Gonzalo Garcia was like a donkey because he was running he was running everywhere. Like I would love to see his heat map because he was on the left, he was on the right, he was in the middle, he was at the back, everywhere but the box, or everywhere running behind the defense. So Gonzalo Garcia is like he's a target guy. That's how I see him. That's how he plays, right? And he's also good with his feet, like in quick transitions and quick passes, right? So, and he's a big dude. So we finally have a big dude, you know, as our striker, but we're not using them. Even though once again we have people with lethal right foots, you know, who can cross that ball. But I was like, okay, so how do you compensate the lack of defending from Mbappe so that you still have cover, right? And I don't think the way we went about it now was the right way because it wasn't a collective way of defending the initial attack coming from Valencia. It was more like Gonzalo Garcia running back wherever the threat is, and then that was about it. But then when we finally need to attack, like he's not in the right positions. He's not in the box. He's not in the box, you know. And once again, it's like we're just forgetting the qualities of the profiles we have. Gonzalo Garcia is a striker. He can score goals and he can link up well with his fellow teammates, right? But he needs to play centrally. I don't need him on the right. I don't need him on the left, right? If he needs to drop back a little bit and then cover because of Mbappe not covering, yes, of course. But you then defend collectively, you know? So Camavinga can come in, and then maybe Goulet and Gigi drop more centrally or whatever, right? So there's many. I think there's other avenues that we could have done to make sure that when we actually win the ball, we still have Gigi close enough to the front line, and Mbappe is more open, right? So I think that's my biggest thing now. And then also in the last game against Rayo, he came on, Gonzalo Garcia, and was playing on the right. He was playing right wing back, you know, defending more than attacking. I don't want to see him defending more than attacking. That's ridiculous. And then Arbeloa at the end of the game was like, when he came on, like he should have been in the box. Da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, he came on with your instructions. So you obviously told him like to stay on that right wing, and he did, right? And then now in this game, you obviously didn't tell him like to be in the box because he wasn't, you know? And it didn't change in the first half and it changed in the second half. You know, you can see it, right? So I think that's my first thing. And then as well, like Goulet, once again, I don't know what this kid has to do to just be playing as a 10 the whole time, because essentially we should build our team, this current team right now this season, Mbappe and Goulet. That's it. That's it. So you play them in the best positions to get the best out of them, right? Mbappe at this point, I don't even know what best position he is. If he wants to play a striker, if he wants to be wing, if he wants to be in the right. We've seen him now below a little bit more on the right. But in this game, I think he struggled a lot. I don't know if it's because, one, we didn't have Vinny, or we didn't have Rodrigo creating chaos on the flanks. So now, yeah, Valencia could kind of team up on Mbappe a lot more, whether it was centrally or on the flanks. So I feel like he struggled quite a lot. And I did think in the first half, it was actually, in the first half, some moments in the second half as well, where he was actually trying to find his teammates a little bit more. The first half, he was linking up, I think, 2 passes with Jimenez. For his shot on goal. Would have been an amazing dream story if he had scored that goal, right? That pass came from Mbappe, and then he also tried to find him again as well in a long pass in the first half. And then Mbappe in the second half, when Brahim came on, was trying to link up with Brahim. I think he tried 2 attempts that were intercepted, and then eventually Brahim to Mbappe. So maybe that could be actually a nice link up that's developing between Brahim and Mbappe. Since he did that Panenka in Brahim's honor. So yeah, and then second, I think the second topic is going to be our midfield. And yeah, like I think we all see it, we all know it now. Last season, I said it before, many people have said it, we focused a lot on our attack and the dysfunction of our attacking players. And then this season, I think it's the dysfunction of our midfield, So I was quite interested to see like how it would go without Bellingham in that midfield. So once again, ideally, the dream setup would have been, Rodrigo available and Goulet playing as a 10, right? But it didn't work out like that. But we had a midfield of Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Camavinga. I think Tchouaméni had a good game defensively, right? This was a really good game for him. He was making interceptions and he was stopping Valencia's attacks early, right? And that's something that I don't think we see every single game from him, right? So I think some people don't spot that. But there's some games where teams are just like passing through us so quick, so easily in midfield, and Tchouaméni is not back defending, right? Or he's too slow, like running back, you know. So he needs to. I need to see more effort from Tchouaméni. But yeah, this game was good, and he helped us to keep that clean sheet. Valverde, I think. I did his job in terms of defensively, but in terms of creativity, like when he's on the ball, like it was terrible, guys. Like all his passes, I swear, all his passes were like or either to the side or behind. That was it. He didn't make any passes forward. Like this is not good enough for Real Madrid. Like, and he's not looking for the ball when our defenders have it or when anybody has it. He's not making himself available for the ball, right? So this is honestly not good enough for him to be like in midfield. And he says he wants to play in midfield. He doesn't want to play as a right back. Then you need to put in performances to make sure that you are undroppable in terms of that midfield. But this was not it. This was not it. And I'm saying this is like one of his favorite fans, right? Yeah, if you guys have been following for a while, Vinny, Valverde, Endrick, my three favorite players. So and this season for Real Madrid just haven't done it, you know. Endrick is doing it for Lyon, but got the red card. So hopefully that's not gonna temper his form at the moment when he gets back. Camavinga, yeah, I think once again he just holds on to the ball too long. Like it's like every single time he gets the ball, he wants to run. He wants to run to space that's not there. Just 1-2 passes, man. Football doesn't have to be so complicated. You know, honestly, I feel like every single player is like, they get the ball, the lack of awareness, they get the ball, and then now they're looking to see like, okay, what can I do with the ball? Oh, there's nothing on, or there's defenders on me. Let me go run into this space where there's nothing happening, right? So I think Camavinga, in terms of creativity, our midfield was giving us absolutely nothing. Our midfield was dead, absolutely dead. And it's honestly ridiculous. Like these are some of the most expensive players on the market right now. Valverde worth 120 million. You don't see it when you're watching, you know. Camavinga has dropped quite a bit, but yeah, I think our midfield really needs to improve. And right now at this moment, it doesn't matter if it's Bellingham in there, it doesn't matter if it's Valverde, if it's Camavinga, if it's Tchouaméni. They're all in terms of creativity, dead. You know, the only one is Goulet. And the fact that we don't have him in midfield centrally, like when he was effective today in this game, he was centrally. There were some moments on the right channel where he was able to thread some balls in. But Goulet centrally, that's where you want him, and then giving him time to roam into other spaces, right? But Goulet on the right, for me, does not work. And our defense, Asensio having a solid game. Hausen, I think, besides the just really silly decisions, running into like 5 Valencia players, trying to do a silly pass. So besides those things, defensively he was good, aerially good. I think aerially actually both our center backs were actually solid. They headed out, they cleared out so many balls today. And then Carreras, I have to mention him. I think had a solid game. Jimenez, I mentioned him, had a solid game. But yeah, Carreras' goal, really guys, we had that ball for like I think 5 minutes and we were doing nothing with it. It was like passing left, right, side, everyone's static, you know, the usual for Madrid. And then Carreras just gets the ball and then just runs and then it ricochets in his favor and a nice goal, right? So it was a bit of luck, but we'll take it. If a bit of luck is gonna take us to La Liga, we'll take it. You know, like every season can't be a banger, right? So last season we crumbled, and then this season if we crumble and then we crumble to the finish line, number one, we'll take it for this season, right? With the season we've had, and then we hopefully we build from next season. And then the subs that came on, I want to mention again Trent. So when I was listening, the commentators were talking about Trent was saying some stuff like he's back, he feels fit, he feels ready, and he feels like he's starting as a Real Madrid player again, right? And they kept on saying this. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. Like I don't care what a player says. It's more about what they do when they're on the pitch. And then from the very first start, from the very first minute, like Trent was on, like he was positive, right? In terms of defensively and also attacking. Defensively, aggressive, going to his player, going to his man. And then also in terms of when he got on the ball, the only thing he was thinking about was unleashing that right foot, right? Looking for Mbappe, looking for Brahim, I believe it was. And he made 3 very good passes, like just like bypassing the midfield of Valencia. So three very, very good passes, 2 passes, 2 high and 1 low. So if this is the trend we're going to be getting, if he stays fit, and then I'm really looking forward to seeing him on that right side. And Valverde is going to need to step his game up, because what he produced today was not good enough. And if Trent is coming on and giving us actually an option in terms of attack, right? In terms of like that precision over the defense, now it gives the other team something to think about, right? So we need just more different ways to attack teams, because right now we literally have 0, give the ball to Mbappe, right? And then Brahim came on, did well. And then am I missing anybody else who came on today? So overall, it was just one of those games. Masanto came on, and then the other kid came on. Castero came on. Masanto, I'm not too hard on the kid. He's just short of confidence, like at this current moment. And I was speaking with Steph about this, and he made a good point. So back in the days when we brought these players in, your Valverdes, your Casemiros, your Vinis, your Rodrigos, Madrid would either keep them at the club, they just bought them for like another year to develop. They're already a Real Madrid player, but they're staying for 1 more year to just get the playing time and all that kind of stuff. And they come to Madrid, and they're already kind of prepared for Madrid a little bit. Or we would send them out on loan, whether it was like 1 season, 2 seasons to a team like in La Liga or elsewhere, or Portugal or something. And then those players would go out there and develop, play without too much attention on them, and they'll come back to Real Madrid after doing some good performances consistently for a season, 2 seasons, and then now we're using them effectively from the bench, right? And then eventually they become starters. But now what we've been doing is like we get these kids like Masanto Ono. Okay, we just got him this summer. Like I liked it when he came in, but now. 1, he's short of confidence, but 2, I'm actually not too sure what he's good at, to be honest. I'm not too sure. His touch is not good, his shooting's not good, whatever, right? So it's very different from when Vinny came in. You could see the raw talent. It's very different from when Rodrigo came in. You could see the technical ability. The only thing he was lacking was strength, right? But you could see the technical ability. With Masanto Ono, I'm really not too sure. So with Masanto Ono, I think with him, he needs to go out on loan for like a season, maybe 2 next year, to just gain that confidence, and then we can see what kind of player he's going to turn out to be, right? And then similar thing with Endrick, people are now banging on about Endrick, saying like, oh my days, I can't believe Xabi didn't play Endrick and all this kind of stuff. I was saying it the whole time. I was telling you guys, Endrick is a player. Endrick is a player. I was saying it the whole time, But now everyone's seeing him scoring all the goals in Lyon, and now everyone's on the bandwagon, But Endrick is another one where these kids just need to play, right? So Endrick, yeah, he's going to come back, I believe, after this season. But really, he should stay one more season at Lyon, and just for him to become a solid striker, right? Because someone like Endrick, he's not going to be like a second striker. Like, he's a first striker. He's just not ready now for Madrid. So we need to get him ready, right? But yeah, overall, we won the game. That's really the most important thing right now. And I think we're halfway through the season, and it's like, yeah, I don't know if we can really expect anything more from this team. Like, two things I was thinking about today was like, is it just a lack of confidence with a lot of the players in this team, or is it just really like a lack of quality? Like, do they actually just not have the quality to execute what needs to be done? Like, for example, with Xabi, like, could they not just follow the instructions, what this manager was telling them, you know, on how to improve their game and then how to play collectively? Because today, in terms of attack, we don't attack in a collective way, but there's nothing new. Everyone knows this, right? But there's no even indications of improvements, you know? So Mbappe today, I don't know. I also don't know what position he's playing in these days. Everything was so narrow. He wasn't on the. I guess now maybe he's just not used to playing on the left wing. So when the chance is actually there, he's not there anymore. So I don't know. I also don't know. But I'd rather have Mbappe on the left wing, Gigi, my striker, midfield, 6'3" beast. Yeah, I'd rather have him in as my striker. You know, dropping deep to do those link up passes, going in, you know, for the crosses, using Trent, using Valverde, using their abilities on the ball when it comes to crossing. So yeah, but yeah. But this is where we're at right now. But anyway, it's another win. We're still 1 point behind Barcelona. So yeah, we gotta take that as a positive, you know. So we're gonna stumble our way to the finish line this season, and then this next season, big decisions have to be made with some of these players and with this team. Otherwise, nothing's gonna change, you know. But once again, 3 points, and we're off to a win. All right. Thank you guys for watching, if you got this far. And then, yeah, I'm going to speak with Steph, and then hopefully we can do a live to go a little bit more in detail. And then you guys can also hear Stefan's insights on what he thought about the game. But for now, a la Madrid, and see you guys on the next video.